will there be a housing market crash in 2024? While anything can happen, we have to stick to the fundamentals and the facts. And fundamentally, the underlying cause of any crash or correction is an oversupply of homes, meaning there are more homes available for sale than there are buyers. When that happens, prices come down severely. And as you saw from our previous video, we don't have an overabundance of homes. In fact, we have the exact opposite here in Southeast Wisconsin. So fundamentally, we're not going to see a crash in our area for quite some time. Another way to examine this question is to look at the health of the mortgage industry. As you can see from this particular chart, that we are fundamentally at 0.3% in foreclosures nationwide as of the third quarter of 2003, according to CoreLogic. For delinquencies, we're staying at about 2.8, 2.7%. So right now, we're not seeing a lot of red flags in terms of delinquencies or foreclosures. So no problems here. Another way to look at this is the share of negative equity. So negative equity, that's what happens when you have a mortgage that's underwater. I mean, you owe more than what the home is worth. And right here in Southeast Wisconsin, we're at 2.6%. While that's really unfortunate for that 2.6%, for the other mortgages that aren't delinquent, that don't have negative share, that is actually a pretty healthy percentage to have. So we're doing good as far as negative equity. Now, worst case scenario, there is some sort of correction or housing market crash. We have, as a nation, about double the amount of equity that we did when the market crashed in 2008. If you're looking at this table or this graph right here, the gray area is the amount of equity that most homeowners have, or the total amount of equity that homeowners have across the nation. We went from about 5 trillion to almost 15 trillion. And then if you look at the blue area, that's tappable equity. That is the amount of equity that you can tap into while still keeping 20% of it still comfortably in your home. So an 80 to 20% ratio. As you can see, that's actually doubled from about 4 trillion to about 10 trillion. So we're sitting good right there, meaning if there is a correction, there is a crash, most homeowners are going to be able to weather the storm. Now you might be thinking, you know what, Jade? I don't know, that all looks good, but what if? Okay, how we can track this really month to month in real time, besides all those charts, is by looking at the sold to list ratio. So with the sold to list ratio, if you have over 100%, that means homes are selling for more than the original asking price. If it's less than 100%, they're selling for less than the original asking price. Right now, we're about 95.4. This number should oscillate between about 95 to 102. It's actually sitting really good right now, especially with it being winter. If this gets below 92%, below 90%, that's a red flag for us to say, whoa, this is not right. Homes are selling severely for what they're originally listed for. Let's dive deeper into it. Right now, nothing to see here, folks.